Well, for more on finance, we're joined by author of the Stock Market Newsletter, Marcus Today, Marcus Padley. Marcus, good morning. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
How are you?
Well, thanks. Okay. My info.
Got my Christmas tie on.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Are you bringing
Don't come near me with a naked flame, right? I'm not sure the $2 shop's quite Italian silk standard.
Oh, you've got to slum it sometimes,
Yeah.
Marcus.
a bit of Christmas joy there, but is there any financial joy in terms of the mid-year budget update?
Not really. It's painting a fairly weak backdrop to the Australian economy, and you can see that. Is that currency right? We've dropped from 63.30 to 62.24 in a day, and I think that's one of the major takeaways from how government finances are going is that it's not good for the Australian dollar, and that's sliding away. The CBA is saying it's going under 60, and it makes huge change for us all. You know, I'm not going to be buying another Mercedes this year, clearly, and I'm not going to be going on a European cruise. So you know, we are struggling a little bit as a nation, and currencies reflect that. And the other takeaway, I think, is that the government's going to have to tax a bit harder in order to put things back in balance, and that's probably not good for consumer stocks. And the other takeaway is the same takeaway that we've had in the stock market all year, which is Chinese economy. We're very dependent on, and it's going nowhere. GDP numbers are being downgraded in China, and that's going to reflect on everything in Australia, including the currency. And it's probably why the numbers are a bit out of whack as well. When the resources boom was on, Peter Costello and John Major could do no wrong. You know, power is money. Money pouring in during the resources boom, and they were fabulous politicians. And it was the same thing in the GFC. All those European politicians were tolerated as long as they kept producing the money by borrowing it. The moment it all goes wrong, they're out of power. So we've got the opposite at the moment of a resources boom. The resources sector's had a terrible year. It's down 17% when the bank sector's up 31%. So resources just had a terrible year. And that is, someone described the government as being a passenger in this element. They are. They can't control the iron ore price, coal price, LNG price.
Marcus, take us through some of the highs and lows of this year on the stock market.
The high this year, and the takeaway this year, was Australians need to look outside of Australia to invest, and you now can very easily using things called exchange-traded funds, and that's where we've played this year. So you could buy the NASDAQ, or you could buy exposure to big tech stocks in the US very easily through exchange-traded funds. And I think if the Aussie dollar's going down the tubes, Australians want to be in US dollar priced investments, and you now can very easily. So the message here was Australia's economy was going nowhere. Resources in particular, which is always a boom bust sector, has not bust, but it's had a bad year. And the focus, if you wanted to make money, you really need to be looking at US, because big tech has flown, and the NASDAQ's up about 36% this year, when our market's up about 10%. So that's where you need it to be.
And your predictions for next year?
We've got Trump, which is going to be hilarious. Never a dull moment in the newsletter business when Trump's around. What's he going to do? But we have this little technique of, everyone thinks the stock market is about predicting. We don't predict, we react. So we're just waiting for the current trends to end, waiting for big tech to lose its I think Buffett says, for every bubble there's a pin, and when the two meet, all the new investors learn what all the old investors already knew. We'll see if that happens next year. Wait to see if the Chinese economy picks up. Wait to see if the AI bubble can stay inflated. Wait to see what Trump does. There's no point making predictions for next year. You've just got to be smart enough to, when things change, to react and do something about it. So we're just waiting for all the current trends to do something. The most obvious one is, will big tech hold up?
Okay, Marcus, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
Merry Christmas to you as well.
Thank you.